Hello there, gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Alphabet Soup SMP. Boy, oh boy, has it been a long time. Things happened, life happened. I had computer issues, and then I moved, and then I got a job, and I have not really had a whole lot of time to record and edit videos, but I've been really missing it, and so I was determined to bring back the SMP and bring back my channel. So here we are, and before we get too far into things today, I did make quite a bit of a mess over here at Gabby's graveyard. I wanted to make it really dark and spooky for my intro for the video, I replaced all of the torches with soul torches in order to make it kind of moody, which it ended up being way too dark for the video, and I'm sorry about that. I was going for a vibe, and you know what? It looked really bright when I was playing in the game, and then as soon as I put it into the video editor, it looked way too dark. So let's chat for a little bit while I do a good deed and place some frog lights around to make sure that this place is nice and bright. Because even though it is a cemetery, I don't think it's meant to be a spooky cemetery. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on and what the plans are for the future. Like I said, I was having some computer issues. Whenever I posted my last video, either right before that or right after that, I totally fried my hard drive, and I had to get a replacement hard drive, and it took forever, and then I had to get it fixed by like some 16-year-old boy who lived down the street from me, because I don't know anything about computers truly, hence how I ended up frying my hard drive on accident. That was what initially caused me to not be uploading, was because my computer was broken and I had to wait for a part to get it fixed, and I had to get it fixed, and then I think like less than a month after I did get my computer fixed is when I was moving. So I decided I would just pack my computer away and get it back out whenever I got to the new house, right? A few weeks after that, of course, I did end up moving. I did get my computer set back up after that, but I then was hit with the issue of I had lost pretty much everything. I lost my creative testing world, like a creative mode flat world where I'll go out and I'll test ideas out, and just like, that's usually my starting point for when I want to do a video, is I'll go into that flat world and just like see where inspiration strikes in terms of new designs and like what I want to work on. And then once I get a good design, I would go into a creative mode version of this world and try to get like an idea of the placement for it, or like where I want to put it. Hi guys, how you doing? Yeah, okay, nice. That was kind of my creative process, but I lost that creative flat world, or I lost everything. I lost everything that was on my computer that wasn't saved on my external hard drive. So I lost all of the worlds that I had on my computer, also all of the schematics. I use Matica a lot, where you can build something in creative and then like make a scan of it that you can take into survival. It tells you exactly all of the materials that you'll need and gives you like a guide of how to place all of your blocks and everything. I lost the schematics for that because I did have one build planned out already that I will probably never happen at this point, because one, I've kind of changed the direction that I want to go with it, and two, I have no idea what it was supposed to look like. I don't think I even have like screenshots of it or anything that I saved on my hard drive, unfortunately. The sad thing is that I had actually collected all of the materials for that already, but it's lost to time, unfortunately. But I do have some other plans that I want to start working on. I am gonna change up my plans a little bit, because I had that plan to make the, enchanted city, and there's going to be a big castle. I wanted to do like a bridge from my industrial district area that was going to go across into the mountain range, and then there's going to be a tunnel that went through with the city on the other side, and then the castle would be the big viewpoint of the city. I don't really think any of that is going to happen anymore, partially because I think I really bit off more than I could chew with that idea, and I really, even before I was hit with like a creative slump because I had lost everything and I was really sad and very discouraged, even before that point I really had no idea what I was gonna really do there. I had the idea in my mind, but I had no idea how to execute it. So I think it's best if I just kind of pivot with what I was gonna do. I had been working on that exterior village for a while, and I honestly think that is where I want to focus. I really like what I had started there. I have a lot of work that I want to do to fix some things and change some things up. You know, we'll get over there in a little bit and we'll talk more about how I'm gonna fix things up specifically. But yeah, I think I want to focus over there instead of trying to do that city inside of the valley, because for one, I think it's in one way, you know, you can see it as a challenge, being limited on your space and having everything on like a really steep angle when you're building in the middle of a circle of mountains. You know, you can choose to see that as a creative challenge, which I think is what I wanted to, but when it comes down to it, I think I actually find it very limiting. I think that with changing up the location of where I want to build, I'll be able to do a lot more creatively. I'm not 100% sure if I still want to do the castle. I might still try to do the castle on the outside of the mountain. I think will work a lot better, to be honest, if I do it that way anyways. I may still do that, but again, I don't really have a plan for what I actually want the castle to look like. I love the idea of building castles, and I always want to build a castle, and I don't know how to build castles. So that's where I'm kind of at with that. I will probably be attempting to design something and build it here on the server, but I'm not going to stress out about it too much just because I don't want to burn myself out. So I don't want to stress myself out about fulfilling a specific build or a specific promise so much that I psych myself out and then I end up in a creative rut because I feel like I'm not delivering on something that I promised. So I'm not going to make any promises in that regard, but we're just going to see where life takes us. We're going to see where the inspiration strikes, and yeah. So Alphabet Soup SMP, it has been on a hiatus for a little while. I didn't shut down the server immediately when I first stopped posting because it wasn't intentional that I stopped uploading videos. This kind of happened. Like I said, I never meant to take a break from making videos. And then of course, once I started working again, because when I first started Alphabet Soup SMP, I was unemployed. So I had so much time on my hands that I really needed something to do with. And that is what the server became for me. But now, unfortunately, I do have to participate in capitalism, so I don't have as much time as I would like to play Minecraft and design builds and build them and make videos and edit them. But I really just, even the last few days while I've been working on making that little intro for the beginning of this video, it just made me so happy. I forgot how I absolutely love video editing. It can start to feel like a bit of a chore at times, especially like when I build something that I'm super proud of and I want to show it off, but then I have to edit the video and it takes me a long time to edit a video. Sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating, but I think overall I was absolutely thrilled to be editing a video again, and I miss it so much. And so I'm so excited to be coming back to YouTube, and hopefully I will be here to stay for a long time. And I don't know how consistent I'm going to be able to be with videos, just because I am pretty busy with work most of the time. Maybe once a month, maybe every other month, something like that. Maybe some kind of semi-regular schedule, or maybe you won't hear from me for a few months, but you always know that I'll be back. I'm hoping that I can get to that point instead of dropping off the face of the earth. I will try not to do that again, but I can't make any promises 100%. We've got this place mostly cleaned up. I did forget to bring the regular lanterns to replace these soul lanterns, but I think it'll be okay. It is nice and bright. Even when I only had the soul torches out here, it was spawn proof. So let's head on back then to the fairy village, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we're actually over there and we can have a look at it. Here we are back in the fairy village. This building right here, I believe, was the last thing that I worked on before the crash, we'll say. This is such a cute little house. Like, a lot of times when I do builds, I forget to like integrate them into the landscape. Like, I don't think I really integrated that one into the landscape very much, but this one is so cute. I kind of cooked with this, not gonna lie. Inside is still pretty plain. I still gotta work on that, but I'm pretty happy with that build. If we get a little bit of a bird's eye view of the village, we can see there's definitely a lot of work to be done. I've only got a few of the buildings done, and then in terms of like this giant wheat field that I spent so long planting, I kind of hate it now. I definitely want to do some terraforming around here. I mean, of course, I need to make some paths that are going to connect up this house to up there, and then we're going to be building a bridge out that way as well to connect up the path that I had started making that leads back over to Soul's house and the whole spawn area. So we're gonna make a bridge that's gonna span this gorge, because I mean, you can go around, but it'll be a lot quicker if people have a bridge. that they can access it with, and they want to, you know, do so much mountain climbing. And then I've also been thinking that I might actually expand the village. Not that there's a lack of space to be used here, but I might potentially expand the village and use this area down here, do some terraforming, bring up the land maybe to about like this level, and we can terraform some more, you know, cliffs and stuff in here, but then there will be this big area. I think since I'm not going to be using the space inside of the mountain range anymore, I think it would be nice to have a little bit of extra space to work with. But yeah, I don't know exactly where I'm going to go with a lot of the buildings. I know I want to make some like businesses kind of to put the villagers in, so like things that are related to their professions and stuff. So that is something that I will have to work on planning. For this video, I think what I'm going to be working on is going to be the bridge that's going to go across here. I have a plan. I haven't worked it out as much as I typically would before building something in a video. I think the design that I have is good enough, and it's not so complicated that like I couldn't undo it, like I couldn't replace it if I wanted to. Like, it wouldn't feel bad if I had to tear the whole thing out and put something in new, but I think it's honestly, I think it's pretty good. So that is what we'll be working on today, and I do have some materials that I need to gather for that. I'm going to be using some basic carrot noodle soup materials, spruce wood and moss mostly. I might actually not have that much spruce wood because I build with it so much. Alright, I've only got a couple stacks. I think I'm just going to be using logs. I don't think I'm going to be using the planks. So I will definitely need to do some farming that. I'm just gonna go right over here and collect up some spruce wood, so I will see you all back after I do that. I've got an entire shulker box full of spruce wood, plus a little bit extra, which I think should be way more than enough, I'm hoping. So let's go ahead and go back over towards the village over here, I think right about here. Now, I do believe it's a few blocks lower over there, so I guess let me check the Y level. This is 120, and then if we go across, I think it should be like 118 maybe, or 119? 118, perfect. Okay, so I am going to, since I'm already planning on doing some terraforming over here, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and lower this down by a couple of blocks, because I could either raise that up over there by a few blocks, or I can lower this by a couple blocks, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Alright, we'll work out the kinks later on. But now we have a bit of a pathway where we can go ahead and build that bridge. I've been building this bridge for hours because these arches things that I wanted to do, they're taking me forever to do because I have to build scaffolding all across this ravine so that I can reach the bottom side of my build. I'm sitting here thinking, man, I really wish that they would add something to the game where you could just fly underneath. You're not, not the Elytra, like something where you could be steady and just build. I'm so stupid. They did add that to the game. Guys, I need a happy ghast. I can't believe I forgot about the happy ghast. Hi everybody, it's me, editing Kara from the future, and apparently I had my microphone turned off for this section of the recording, so I have come to tell you about my trip to the Nether to find a happy ghast, or a dried ghast, as it is called in this form. I didn't really want to go to the Nether because I knew I was going to have to go way out into unloaded chunks. So I was going to try to farm them, but you need a lot of ghast tears for that, and I didn't have any ghast tears. And I tried to get some ghast to spawn, and it just wasn't working, so I did end up having to go on a little adventure to go and get the dried ghast, and then I plopped it down into the water outside of my little cottage, and then I waited, and I waited, and I waited some more. And I waited even longer. I waited a really long time. It takes about 20 minutes for these things to hydrate. And I didn't really have anything else to do because it was really late at night when I was filming this and I was tired and I didn't want to work on another project while I was waiting for this thing to rehydrate. So I just kind of stood there and I looked at it and I watched it, and it slowly started getting happier and happier, and it's honestly a really cute thing that, what was that? And then it comes out and it's a little tiny baby happy ghastling, and they're so cute. And then I had to feed the ghast some snowballs in order for it to grow up and be all big and strong, and large enough to ride on the back of. And there it goes, and that is how it is done. That is how you tame a happy ghast. And these things are actually pretty hard to control, which leads me to my next big issue. As I have been editing this video and going through and making my time lapses, when I got to this section of building, I realized that this was not going to look very good as a time lapse at all. But rather than just telling you that, I wanted to show you why I have chosen to not include this as a regular time-lapse in the video. So we're gonna hop into Minecraft and take a look at the replay. Alright, so if you are not familiar with the replay mod, this is what it looks like, and I currently have this in 8x speed, as you can see, so it can be sped up a little bit. I was really struggling to build with the ghast. You can see it was going pretty well for placing about 6 blocks, and then I was trying to get closer to the side of the cliff, and I obviously couldn't fit the ghast there, so I was having trouble with that. And then I, for some reason, got off of the ghast, and then the ghast flew away from me, and I couldn't get back on it. So it kind of all over the place. I finally get back on the ghast. Yeah. And then I dropped something, so I have to go down and get what I dropped, and then I get off again, and the ghast flies away again. And then it is nighttime, and I have to go to bed, because I have wasted the entire day trying to wrangle this ghast. And that is pretty much how it goes for most of this time lapse. I was really struggling with how to control the ghast, and then pillagers arrive. And then I have to go fight the pillagers. So as you can see, it continues about like this for the remainder of this time lapse, which in real time was about an hour. Sped up, that would be a couple minutes, but it would be just a couple of minutes of stuff all over the place, and it would not be very satisfying as time lapse usually are. So that's why I'm gonna leave that out, but I wanted to give a little bit of an explanation as to why I decided to leave that out, and also I thought it might be interesting to some people to have a little bit of a behind the scenes look into how I make these videos, and just having that visual aid instead of me just talking to you and telling you. But anyways, with that, let's get back into the video. I've made some good progress here. I kind of hate it. I like the design, I like the shape. I think the spruce blends in with the dirt too much. I think I should have made it out of dark oak. This took so long. It was made a lot easier with the happy gas. I still would give the happy gas about a 7 out of 10 maybe with the building. It's a little hard to like steer this thing. I think I should have made it out of dark oak. And I think I have to make it out of dark oak. It just, it blends in with the dirt. It really does. And I don't know. I don't think I want it to be lighter. I think I want it to be darker. I'm not going to replace the whole thing. I think I'm just going to do, I'll just do one strip that way with the dark oak. And then if I like that, I'm going to replace the pillars. And if I like that, then I'll do the rest. I think it will look much better with dark oak. This is a first for me. I don't usually build without having like a very thought through plan. Usually I plan everything out so meticulously in creative mode so that by the time that I build it in survival, I'm like, I don't need to change anything because I've planned out every single block. I didn't do that this time. I was really itching to just get into the, like, survival mode and build something. So I got this basic design down. I got the shape that I really liked. And I've just been, like, you know, adding in some little details. Yeah, this is just, like, this is the, I guess, the imperfect part of my process that I don't usually show. I don't like showing people how I think, because it's very messy and it's very disorganized. I don't know if I like this either. I don't know, I'm not sure about the color. Okay, pause before I do this whole thing. No, that is better. That's better, right? Am I crazy? That looks better. I'm just wondering if I should just do a brighter color in general, but I don't think I want to. I think I want to keep it looking kind of natural. That looks so much better. I like the contrast. I think I have to, I gotta do it. Oh, I gotta rip the whole thing out. I can't believe I've done this. And the worst part is, I knew the whole time I wasn't gonna like the spruce, and I did it anyways. Why? I don't know why. I don't know why. Because I was like, I think just because I had already commit to mining all of it out. You know, and I was like, it's, at this point, I just gotta use the spruce. I just spent like an hour chopping down spruce wood. I have to use the spruce. It's fine. I just have mountains of stripped spruce that I'm not gonna use. I'm sure I'll find somewhere else to use it. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's great. I'm having a great time. I'm not even undead. What are you talking about? I've lost my first life due to a happy gas accident. I thought I was riding it. I was just standing on it, and I walked right off and fell to my death. And now I must do the walk of shame. Oh my gosh, who built this staircase? It sucks. Now let's see if I can actually successfully get to my stuff. And I also hope my happy gas did not fly away. It probably did. Yeah, look at him. Look at him go. I can see him on the map floating away. Okay, come here. Can you come here, please? I got it. Look at this Enderman just watching the whole thing happen. He just watched it happen. Oh my gosh, this really was like the worst place I could possibly die. I mean, it's better than dying in lava, I guess. Come here. Whew. Right, back to work. Well, evidently there was a worse place to die, because when I died, all of my stuff, I died midair, so everything just completely exploded out beneath me into the river. So that was not fun, to clean up. So here is how that bridge is looking with all of the dark oak, or with all of the spruce replaced for dark oak. There's definitely still some details to be finished up here to help, you know, blend it into the landscape a little bit better, and then something along the, for like railing along the sides, just to make it look a little bit more finished. But I'm really happy with the structural supports of the bridge, and I think it turned out pretty decent for all of the frustration that I had to deal with to get to this point. But with that being said, I think that is where I am going to end it for today. Thank you so much everyone for watching, whether you're a returning viewer or whether you are new. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos from me, you could go ahead and subscribe, and I would super appreciate that. But I'm super excited to be getting back into making videos, and again, hopefully I'll be here to stay. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!